Hi guys! Thanks for tuning in to Zen Romance Tarot. Hope you guys are doing great. We're going to take a look at the Scorpio Capricorn relationship. Okay. Jot that down so. Cat. Okay. Guys, I did meditate over these cards and we're going to take a look and see what's going on in this connection between Scorpio and Capricorn. Okay. I see somebody might feel like they might be trapped in fear. Okay. And this just talks about going over things over and over and over again in your head, right? And holding yourself hostage. And it's something that you can't get out of. I feel like you might think that your partner has several options and you don't feel like it's the most traditional of relationships. Okay? So you might not feel like you live up to certain things or certain expectations, right? I'm also feeling that you may have a problem expressing yourself. One of you guys. And I'm going to say that because I get the energies mixed up. So you need to start acknowledging how you feel about certain things. You need to stop. I know you don't want to say you expect anything in return, but your love is not conditional. You're expecting something. Some kind of acknowledgement when something's done. And I don't know that you're getting that. I also feel like you might be holding back your feelings, one of you. And you're not very expressive. You're not telling people, oh, I love you. You know, somebody could have made you feel like, oh, you say I love you all the time. Maybe you say it too much. So I don't know if it's a situation like that or if you're just kind of closed off. Okay? I feel like you might often ask for the approval of others. And that's something that you want to stop doing. You're strong and you're capable. But your actions, you're a person who acts, right? I don't know that you're so much of a talker, but you act. But when you get in areas like when you're trapped in fear and things go over you over and over again in your head, I don't know that you address them with other people, so therefore you're holding yourself hostage. Okay, it looks like you might be being tested. Okay, you might be being tested in your personal life or in your business life. But ultimately, you're being advised that you need to stand your ground. So it's time to reassess how you're doing things and how you've been handling things before and make some sort of change to it and have a firm stance on where you stand as it comes to affairs of the heart as well as business. Okay? You might be detaching emotionally from something. You have the third eye here. So we know that you see things. We know that there are revelations that come to you. You start to see things, and that's awesome. And it's good because you're now standing your ground and you're going to start looking at things with that third eye and really paying attention to how you're doing things, right? Based off the response that you're getting. So you're still a little trapped in your head. You are trapped in your head. You have to come out of that somehow. You need to take some kind of action to come out of that. It looks like you're doing it by standing your ground. Okay, and you're just being a little bit more vigilant. But this part where you might feel like your partner has several options, that's something that you need to work on. Okay, if you feel like this, you may want to, have a conversation. Have a conversation with your partner and say, listen, this is how I'm feeling. Okay, because you already know that you're a person of action. Therefore, I see that you might be of very few words, more about emotion. So when you get like this, that's when it's time to speak up. So people who don't talk a lot, when they finally start to speak, it has more impact versus somebody who talks day and night. Oh, da 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 da. This one, you see them act, they finally speak, all heads up. All heads up because this person doesn't speak. Therefore, the message is extremely important. So realize that. Okay. So now we have somebody else here who looks like they may be trying to move on from something, maybe move on from this relationship, move on. They could be trying to move on to a place of harmony, or they could be just trying to find their own peace and exiting some kind of situation. I see this person moving, like out the door emotionally or even physically. Okay? This is the card of I'm healing. I'm moving on so I can heal. This person is looking for a new beginning in something. Okay? It could be they don't necessarily feel safe with shelter wherever they are. So this could be about shelter, safety, money. They feel like they want to find some kind of harmony, and I think they may be considering moving is the best way to do it because they're looking for some stability, having to do with shelter, their physical body. But this person also seems like they're not using reasoning. Like reasoning, I'm not going to give you my all. So I'm not going to give you my all. Because there's something that I have to, I'm not going to give you my all. I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm going to start to show you I'm not using reasoning right now when I'm considering this move. That's what I'm getting out of this. I don't feel like this person allows room for a message to be brought to them. This person is very happy with the way they are, and they're probably not going to budge. But I see this person, for some reason, is closed off, and they're not willing to give their all. So I see somebody who's trapped in fear and going over the things over and over and over again in their head. And then I have somebody considering moving on to cleaner pastures, greener pastures, because they're looking for a new beginning. They don't necessarily feel, I don't want to say, this person doesn't seem like they're stable. They don't feel stable with shelter. Like they don't feel, I don't know if it's an element of uncomfortability. I think this person may have a problem sharing their space. And I think that could be problematic for the other party. Okay, this person is about money, home, and finances, and then you have one that's a little bit more about emotion. So this person's looking to move on from that. This person does, it looks like this person does expect recognition, right? You have one that doesn't necessarily care for it all the time, but when I do need it, I expect you to give it. But then you have another one who's just not free with the sharing. There's certain things about them that they withhold, that they omit. And I don't know if they express to you that they're not necessarily happy. They're considering taking a chance. They're being very strategic about their options. And the right hand don't know what the left hand is doing. Okay? Another thing I want to point out is with one of the energies here, somebody, in order to deal with these issues, is really focused on kind of like, I hate to say it, it's kind of like, it could be substance abuse. Why? Because it's like, for some reason, that might be the way of expressing yourself. You might be smoking something or whatever you're doing. So you want to be careful of that too, not using a substance to heal things that need to be, healed with through words and expression, meditation, things like that. So these cards are telling you about rest and rejuvenation. You guys, I don't know if this relationship is still standing because it says that you guys are really coming out of something, or there's some situation that happened, I believe, that left one of you trapped. And your fears like, am I good enough? This person has options. So I think that one person is well aware of the options of the other person. And I think each of you are looking to take a break from this situation. I don't know that you guys are together right now. I can't really say, but it does say that there's some kind of rest and rejuvenation that needs to happen. Okay, but you guys might be refusing to do that, but it looks like you may be on your way to taking space to heal. There was some disruption in this relationship. Now, when I did the pre-read, I was like, what was the disruption? I'm going to take a look. For some reason, I feel like, I don't know if the disruption, I don't know if it could have been spiritual, but there was some sort of disruption that leaves you guys in a mental conflict. So you're looking for some kind of new beginning here with disruption. And you're looking to heal from something, and you're kind of reflecting about how we can move forward. But there's some kind of mental conflict. I'm looking to see what is the disruption here. Ancestors, tell me about the disruption, please. Ancestors, tell me about the disruption. Okay. It's the Queen of Cups card. So that could have been some kind of, something having to do with the situation. I think this might be affairs of the heart, because it talks about both. Let me take a look and see what else is going on. Healing, support, the disruption. Healing, support, kindness. I'm resting from, I just got out of something. It was a disruption. I'm healing from it. Queen of Cups. Yes, just tell me more. Two of Pentacles. Okay, that has to be, that talks about, again, weighing many options. What are my options in this? Okay. So I guess the disruption in this were the actual options. Maybe somebody's job was getting in the way. I don't necessarily see that. To me, this seems like more of affairs of the heart. Somebody who's insecure, worrying about what the other person has in options. But I also see somebody here basically considering their options, and the other one knows it, and the other one fears that this person is going to leave. It's almost like you're mentally preparing yourself for something you know that could be inevitable. There's mental conflict here. There are things that you see. Choices and more choices. Handling things kindly. Five of Wands. There's some battles. Okay. Could be you. Yep. It just keeps backing up restriction. Eight of Swords. It keeps talking about restriction. Self-isolation. Solitude, I think, is needed to deal with this situation. It talks about you trying to stay away from something. Somebody understanding that there are, one of you guys has many options. You may have one that feels like they don't have very many options because they keep going over things over and over again in their head. But then you have the other person who's well aware, and it looks like how can I say this? I think one is well aware of the other one's insecurities. And they don't like the insecurities. So they're like, I'm going to move on. But I kind of think this person just wants to move on anyway because they're not fully giving of themselves. That's what I feel. I don't feel like they're fully giving of themselves. I think that somebody might have a problem with fully opening up themselves, right? And because of this, not necessarily just in affairs of the heart, I think that this person may have stunted their own growth, not only in affairs of the heart, but in affairs with business too. And they're trying to take some kind of control of it. So when this person is, when I say moving on, not only are they considering moving on from this connection, but they're also considering moving on to rebirth some projects or something that had occurred in the past that they maybe weren't successful at. Or they want to go try again, or maybe they didn't have the drive to do it before, or maybe they didn't have the confidence to do it before. But I think this person's looking for somebody, I don't want to say that. It just looks like they may be moving on and they're not advising you of their plan. But you need to stand your ground. Because you see things. Okay. So this is causing some kind of mental conflict. I think that the realization, and somebody's trying to hint, the disruption in this connection could have to do, could be affairs of the heart. It also could have to do with money and career goals or something like that, like career goals that I had in the past that I didn't necessarily go after. I'm going to do this. I think you might have one that is growing, and I think you might have another person that sees the growth, but they're not sure where it's going to go. But it's causing some kind of mental conflict. But I also think that there's a lot of spirituality entwined in here. And I know that sounds crazy, but it does talk about willpower and determination. You have somebody here who is really checking their behavior. Like, it looks like both you guys might be checking your behavior. Maybe just in daily life and how you're going to multitask, right? And how you're going to handle things. I'm going to stay in touch with the positive side. Why do we keep getting substance abuse here? My will is strong. My mind is clear. Somebody's mind could be clouded by, I don't know, it could be like, I don't know if they're smoking too much, whatever they're doing. They could be taking pills to make you feel better, whatever this is. But that's something, willpower and determination, that's going to help clear up a lot of the mental conflict. I think that you guys collectively are in a place where you're surrendering your fears and your burdens to a higher power. That's what I'm kind of getting out of this. But that's done with solitude. So I think that, I don't know if you guys are actually talking right now, together right now, but it looks like both parties are moving on to really develop. Especially, it looks like Capricorn might be really taking time to develop who they are and take advantage of opportunities that they may have missed in the past for whatever reasons. So they're thinking about taking chances and risks. They're thinking about being strategic, gambling. This is like in all areas of their life. They're deciding to kind of go for it, right? But then you have somebody who's a little insecure about it. But they also have to deal with the courage side of themselves and not feeling good enough. You know, deciding, you know, just I don't feel good enough. It's really... But the disruption here, I think, might be development in this relationship. Development in terms of personal goals and personal views of how you guys view each other. Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you're all one. You're all one. And in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. So I think you guys have taken some time apart to really see who you are as individualists. As individuals. And individualists. So I think you're taking time to do that. And I think there's some kind of boundaries because we see Eight of Swords here. We have some kind of, somebody's afraid, and we already saw this. We know that one of you guys are afraid somebody's going to scoop up your man or your woman. You're scared of them people. You're scared of who coming around. So I think that the Queen of Cups might represent the situation in this one. So that's what's going on. That's what I see. Let me see if there's anything else I need to pull. Yeah, there is one. But I'm sorry. Oh, here they are. Right in front of me. Ancestors, do you have any messages for the connection between Scorpio and Capricorn? I feel like one of you guys are trying to take action to come out of this this feeling of being trapped inside your own head, and you're going to start to take some kind of initiative. It's funny because both you guys have developed spiritually. That's cool. And I think you both realize that there's some personal things, some things that you need to work on individually. Willpower and determination, you're asking for grace. Reminiscing, that's another thing too. Remember, and this is another thing that makes me think you guys are not together. Reminiscing, perception, learning from the past. So those are the things that you're trying not to do again. So you might be revisiting the past, revisiting projects that you left behind for whatever reasons. When you guys, and then another one could be in here doing a lot of shadow work, trying to figure out, why do I feel this way? What do I need from my person? Ancestors, give me a message or messages, please. Yeah. Ancestors, please give me a message or messages. Ancestors. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, I ain't gonna lie, this came up in one of the other decks that I pulled, but I ended up not using that deck. But it said engagement. This is marriage. The fairies join you in celebrating wedded bliss. So maybe you guys are married or separated, or maybe this is going to be the outcome at some point in this connection. Ancestors, tell me more. What's going on with marriage? Ancestors. Your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working out in your favor. Oh, now it's reverse. So I want you to give it time, but it is working out in your favor. This requires patience, probably. Let me put this up here so you can see it. Ancestors, give me one more, please. One more message. Ancestors. Healing, healed, healer. Healing energy surrounds you in this situation. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so it looks like you guys are in healing. You might be at some point headed towards a marriage, or this could be a marriage, or maybe you're headed towards an engagement, or maybe that's your goal. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Zen Romance Tarot. Like, share. Oh, wait. I ain't done. Things that I was able to point out. I've totally forgot this part. Things that I was able to point out. On the end of Scorpio, I feel like there's grief, there could be anger, there's shadow work that needs to be done. I think that I do believe that you have unconditional love, but I think subconsciously you want something back. I think you hold a lot of things inside. I think that you're searching to forgive. I think that you're exercising boundaries, which is good, and you're exercising willpower. And you have to avoid whatever it is you're using to mask any kind of thing to mask your feelings, like if it could be, I don't know, whatever. Something, just too much of anything. Be careful. Too much food, it could be anything. Don't abuse it. Believe it or not, the energy I was getting from Capricorn was a fear of rejection. And definitely conditions to your love. So you want to work on that. You can't put conditions behind stuff. There's one thing to be having conditions subconsciously, but when you straight up, yo, I don't know, you might want to think about that. Just expecting things in return. But you are becoming more spiritual. I see that. So I just wanted to point that out, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Zen Romance Tarot. I'll see you on the next episode. Like, share, subscribe, please. Okay. I love you guys. I'll see you in a little while.